guys, welcome back to my channel. I just bought the TEVIANT Deity Dust palette and I received this yesterday. I ordered this like 3 days ago. Actually, they were faster this time. The other one that I bought from TEVIANT, the Oros eyeshadow palette, that took like a week or even I think more. The palette comes with this like nice face mask, which I really appreciate. I don't know, an extra gift from a purchase is always a nice surprise and touch, and so they got me there, so thank you so much, TEVIANT. So this is the Deity Dust palette. It's the same as the Oros palette, like in terms of the design, and it also has an outer sleeve, and this is what the palette looks like. So it has a bronzer, two blushes, two blush shades, and two highlighters. I'm excited to use this. I already did my base. I have concealer on, I have brows, and yeah, that's about it. And so I'll be using this for kind of like a full face of makeup, from the eyeshadow, from the cheeks. And I read on the description that you can use these two as a lip product as well, because the formula of this is enriched with vitamin E, and so I think that's why they are also applicable on the lips. And so we are going to try that out. I'm actually going to be referring to the, what do you call this, to the campaign photo, this one. So I think that's Aya Abesamis. So I'll try to kind of like recreate her eyes using this palette. I want to read the uses and tips on the Lazada page. It says here, option 1, using your fingers or a brush, use each color alone and pick which you want to place on your eyes, cheeks, and lips. For the lips, you may opt to use a lip balm before applying colors for a more supple and moisturized finish. So what I'm getting from that is that you can use just like, of course, I think you can use any of the shades, but the more appropriate shades for the lips is these two. And so I guess you can also use this even without lip balm, but I'm not gonna do that. I want to use a lip balm before I put whatever shade I want on my lips. And then option number 2, swirl a brush and blend all shades for a natural flush that fits every skin tone. Okay. Option 3, mix and match 2 or more colors to create one unique shade that will match your mood. So basically, they are marketing this as an overall face palette for the eyes, cheeks, and lips, and highlight as well. So that's pretty cool. That's why I bought this. I'm always curious about multi-use products, if they can actually like accommodate all of the parts of the face, and this definitely caught my eye, because if this works on like for all of my face, then that would be great. That it would be a pretty cool product for me. And so yeah, all right. So I'll be using this like more peachy shade, because in the photo I feel like she has a peachy crease, and so I'll be using this one. Okay, the formula it's very stiff. It doesn't have a lot of like powder kickback, so I feel like that's nice. And then I'm just going to run that along my crease, just very slightly. Okay, I actually want to swatch it just to like see the pigmentation. So I'm swatching this one, and okay, so I feel like it takes a couple of building for this peachy shade. So as you can see, it's not that pigmented. But for a blush, I really don't mind because I like it when I have to kind of like build my blush. And for a crease color, this peachy shade is actually nice. Okay, so this peachy shade is very subtle in my opinion. So it takes quite a while to build the shade, but I don't mind because with eyeshadow, I rather work slowly than to like mess it up because I put too much, you know what I mean? Okay, so that is the crease. And now I'm going to take a little like a blending, a more tapered blending brush. And then I'll take the brown shade, the bronzer shade. Okay, and I'm going to focus this more on the lower crease. Let's also swatch this brown shade. That is one swipe and two swipes and three swipes. So it's there, but it's also on the sheer side, on the buildable side. I don't mind since this is like, I don't know, I just like buildable shades. You'll definitely get more pigment if you use like a stamping motion rather than like a blending, sweeping motion. Okay, and then let's do the same thing on the lower lash line. So I'll take this peachy shade again and I'll put this on the lower lash line. I actually like this peachy shade for the eyes. I feel like it's just like a nice warmth for the eyes. Okay, and then I'll take the brown and I'll focus it closer to the eyes. Okay, so that is the eyes. I know it's a little bit messy, but I'll fix it later. And I honestly like my eyeshadow to be a little bit messy. I don't know, it's just me. Okay, next is we are going to bronze our face. Okay, so I'm using this Sonia Kashuk brush and I'm picking up this shade. Okay, so it's definitely hard to, since this bronzer is very small and it's like connected to all of the shades, I'm very careful with how I dip it because I don't want to get the highlight shade and the blush shade, and so I'm just trying my hardest to concentrate on the bronzer, which is a little bit hard, I'm not gonna lie, but I'm breaking out. I have these cute little pimples. I don't mind. Okay, this bronzer is actually applying nicely. It has a nice tone to it. Yeah, I like the tone. It's very like warm. It's a warm bronzer for sure. Or maybe I'm picking up the peach shade. I don't know. I think I'm picking up the peach shade. It's just really hard to get the bronzer without getting the other shades. It's definitely a struggle. And it's taking a while to build this bronzer just because I only can pick up such a small amount because of the size of the bronzer and how hard it is to like, just have to be more careful to not pick up the other shade because I definitely don't want a shimmery bronzer. Not for this look, but yeah. So I think we're already like bronzed. I think that's a nice bronzy shade. Okay, next is we are going to take this, oopsie. We are going to take this peachy shade and I'll be using that as my blush. It's just so hard to get. I really like this peachy shade. It has a nice warmth that complements my morena skin. With this palette, I feel like you have to be a little bit patient because it definitely takes a lot of building to really get like a good amount of color payoff on the face. And since I'm also using a kind of like a fluffy brush, it's not dense. So maybe also that's why it's taking me a little while to build it because I'm using a really fluffy and not dense brush at all. Maybe if you use a more dense brush, it'll be quicker, but for me, I like building. I like that I can build the color, but I know not everyone has the luxury of just, you know, of building and building the color. Not everyone has the time for that. Okay, so I like the peachiness. Like I'm almost, like the peachiness is like my background, like the brick shade. I don't know, it's nice. Okay, and then this shade, the more like warm pink, I'll put this at the back of my cheeks as kind of like a transition, like here. I don't know, I just want to do it. Just to give it like a little bit of depth here. I don't know, I just think it looks nice. Okay, yeah, that looks nice. It just gives a little bit of depth here on this outer cheek area, and I'm into that. Okay, so next is the fun part, which is the lips. So I'm taking a lip balm and I'll just, so as you can see, this lip balm doesn't have any color payoff. And then I want to take the warmer pink shade, not the peach one, but this one, as a lip color, and we'll see if it actually works. Okay. Just make sure you guys wipe your fingers after every dip, or else you're gonna get that hard pan because the moisture of your lips or the lip balm would transfer here and it would make the top of this one, like it's already doing it. Like here, you can see that like shadow. It's already creating a hard pan just from like the oil of my finger. I like the shade, but yeah, it takes a while. Yeah, it's definitely creating a hard pan. Like, look at that. I don't like that. But it's a nice shade, right? And it's actually pretty comfy. Like, I don't feel anything on my lips. And the lip balm actually, I don't feel the lip balm at all because the powder set it, and so it's just this like I don't know, it doesn't feel like anything at this point. It doesn't feel like I have anything on my lips. Which makes sense because it's basically setting your lips with a colored powder. Yeah, that actually looks nice, like up close. It doesn't emphasize any dry patch on my lips, and it's actually very soft on the lips. I thought that won't work. I thought that they're just trying to stretch this product into, you know, oh, it's a full face, so, and you can also use it for your lips. But I honestly think that it works. It works well on the lips, especially if you're using this as your one and done full face of makeup. But the only problem is that since the formula of this one is super pressed hard on this pan, and so yes, we don't get a lot of powder kickback, but since the formula is definitely harder, it creates a hard pan like this. But yeah, so it works on the lips, as you guys saw, and I actually like the shade of this one. It's just that I'm very like annoyed that it's creating this hard pan. I don't like that at all. It's just like, yeah. So anyway, let's move on to the highlighter. So for highlight, let's use this brush, and I'll get the more golden shade first. Okay, so the highlight is definitely has a lot of fallout, a lot of powder kickback. And I'll put the highlight here. That highlight is actually pretty nice. Okay, the highlight formula is definitely more powdery than the matte shades. Okay, and then I'll take the pinkish highlight and focus that on here, like the highest point of my cheeks. It's nice. Okay, and should I highlight my nose? Why not? So I'll take the pink, and I'll also highlight my nose. Okay, and I also want to highlight the inner part of my eye. So I'll take a brush. I'll take this brush, and I'll just mix the two, and I'll press it here. Oh, it's actually really nice as a inner corner highlight. And then I'll take the pinkish highlight and run it here. And I just want to blend the edges. Okay, so I actually want to put some on my lid. I'll take the gold shade, and I'll just put it here. Oh, I like that. I like that on the lid. Just to kind of make my eye look a little bit awake. just on the lower part of the lid, and I'll blend it. I will just put mascara and yeah, and maybe like a white eyeliner, and I'll be back. I just put on mascara. I used the Super Mega Ultra Curl from Vice Cosmetics X and Clutes, and I also use the MAC Eye Kohl Pencil in Fascinating on my waterline, so I'll just have a little bit of a fresher eye look, and I think that worked pretty well. And so yeah, so that's about it. So this is the finished look that we did with the Deity Dust palette from TEVIANT. And okay, so for my thoughts on this specific palette, let's start. This, for me personally, I love this palette because when I was putting this on, although it takes quite a bit of building to really get a color payoff on the eye, especially. I'm also the type of makeup wearer that I really don't mind if I have to build the product over and over again, as long as I can get there, as long as I can get the intensity that I want. I have no problem with it. That is my preference. But I feel like if you are the type of person who is expecting a quick and easy right off the bat pigment for your eyes, I think that you would find this a little bit tricky, or not tricky. You would just have to be ready to get a little bit disappointed in that particular area where you have to build it on your eyes, because the colors are definitely soft. They're not like dark, they're not like rich brown, they're not like rich peach or whatever like that. Like the color of this palette is very soft, especially on my skin tone, because as you guys know, I'm like morena, like I'm a tan kind of morena, and so on my skin I really have to build these colors on my face to really show that peachiness or the warm pink or like the bronzer, you know what I mean. But overall, I'm pretty satisfied with how it turns out on my face. Like for me, this palette is perfect for those who are working in the office, for those college students who are just looking for a perfect palette that can enhance how they present themselves in public. And I think this can definitely get you there. For 750 pesos, you already have basically you have 5 products in this. And I think the lip is just like an afterthought. Like yes, you can use this for your lips as well, but it wouldn't give you like a full pigment, full opacity kind of lip as you would in a lip, like a liquid lip or like a tint or like a lips or like a regular lipstick. Like it wouldn't give you that at all. It would just give you like a kiss of color on your lip, and up until this point it's still very comfortable on the lips. It feels like I'm not wearing anything on my lips, not drying, because I also put lip balm underneath this color. For me, this is actually a really good palette, but there are definitely cons with like multi-use palette, and one of the most obvious cons in this palette is that they're all like in one component and they're like all together. And when I was picking up the highlighter, the highlighter was definitely falling all over the blush and the contour, the bronzer side. And when I was like trying to pick up the bronzer, I was picking up a little bit of the peach and the highlighter side. And so in terms of your tools or like your brushes or like whatever you use for your makeup, you have to kind of consider that. If you have a smaller type of blush brush, or if you have a smaller a blush brush or like a bronzer brush, I feel like if you have the bigger blush brush or the bronzer brush, I don't it would be very hard for you to pick up these products, and that is a little bit unfortunate because yeah, you just wouldn't experience each of the shades if you don't have a smaller blush brush or like a smaller bronzer brush. You have to consider, okay, but do I have a smaller blush brush that can pick up these shades, or do I have a smaller bronzer brush that can actually pick up the bronzer? But if you are purchasing this just for like the eyes and the highlighter, I think that is very workable. Like you can definitely just mix the highlighter, both of the highlighter, and you will just, and that is also a very gorgeous shade in my opinion. Like it still gives me that like very natural and yet reflective kind of highlight without like being too overboard, you know what I mean? For 750 pesos, I can see where the money is going. I can see that they've thought about like the ease of use of this, of just having one palette in your bag or like in your vanity to use when you just want to have a feel-good makeup. This, I would definitely wear this when I just want to like, when I'm not that in a hurry, but kind of like in a hurry, and I just really want to look like nice and presentable, maybe like for a nice dinner out. Like I would definitely use this palette to like create some dimension, some shine, something on my face that I would feel very confident and I would feel pretty with. And this is definitely what this palette gave me. I feel very like pretty, I feel very nice inside because I can see that my face is like presentable, you know what I mean? Also, another con is that if you are going to use this on your lips, make sure that you wipe your finger whenever you would dip your finger back from your lips, because since I had lip balm on, I didn't wipe the lip balm, but I had lip balm on and then I dipped it here, and then like I kept doing that until it created this hard band that I have now to scrape to use this product. So just be careful. I would definitely say that this is a very impressive product from TEVIANT, especially from what I experienced with the Eye of Horus. I mean the Horus eyeshadow palette. Like this is definitely like the brand TEVIANT was able to redeem itself for me personally, for my experience, since it is a pretty small palette with different shades. It will get dirty as you use it because you will be focusing your brushes more on the outer part of the palette. And I feel like the powders, like the formula of this, the powder blended beautifully on my face, especially for the larger part of my face, like the bronzer part and the cheek part and the highlight part. Like they blended so nicely on my face. They blended beautifully. It's not patchy at all. The pigment is there and it doesn't look powdery. It just looks very natural on my face. And if you want it to be even more natural, you can definitely spray your face with a setting spray to really melt the powder on your face. And so yeah, so that is my opinion on the TEVIANT Deity Dust palette. Now let's get to swatching, even if it's like the latter part of the video. Let's start with the highlight. This highlight is very beautiful. That's the gold highlight. Next is the pink highlight. So that is the pink highlight. Next is the bronzer shade. I'm creating hard bands whenever I swatch it. Okay, so that is the bronzer shade. Let's pick up the peach shade. It's very subtle peach. Okay, and then the last shade is the warm pink, like this. I feel like I've created like 4 hard bands at this point, and and that's not nice. That's not cool. Okay, so this is the swatch. As you can see, the colors are very soft and subtle. So yeah, so those are the swatches, and as I was trying to make this arm swatch, I feel like I have created hard bands on the matte shades, and I don't like that. I feel like it shouldn't do that. I have to do this to use it again. Like I have to take something sharp and I have to scrape them off, and that is such a waste of product. And I shouldn't be doing that. See, like I could do that, but it's pretty annoying, right? It's pretty annoying if I have to keep on doing that to use this palette. But again, like I wouldn't be using my fingers as much when using this. It's just for this video with all the swatching and stuff like that, but it's pretty annoying. So but yeah, so I feel like it wouldn't be a problem after this video because I'll be using brushes. But yeah, look how dirty my palette has become with just this video. Overall, I like this palette. The colors are very soft. The pigment is very soft. It's very ideal for a natural, everyday kind of look. And I recommend this for those who are looking for a one and done palette for the whole face. If you are the type of person who just wants something who's very minimal, I think that you would like this a lot. And so yeah, that's it. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I hope you guys are doing okay, and I'll see you guys on my next video. Bye.